In a revealing memoir published in 2016, music executive Reid shared the story of how a 14-year-old Justin Bieber was introduced to him by Usher, describing it as a pivotal moment in Bieber's journey to stardom. Bieber had originally been discovered by Scooter Braun at age 12 through his YouTube covers of songs by artists like Usher and Chris Brown. However, it was Usher's personal endorsement of Bieber to Reid that opened the doors to the major music industry, leading to Bieber signing with Island Records and beginning his rise to fame. Reid recalled how, in October 2008, Usher contacted him, asking if he would be in the office all afternoon because he had something special to show him. When Usher arrived with Bieber, Reid was immediately captivated by the young singer's presence, describing him as beautiful, like a woman can be beautiful, and men rarely are. Bieber showcased his musical skills by playing the piano and singing, proving his talent as a natural performer. Reid was so impressed that he quickly signed Bieber, noting that his appearance, especially his signature hairstyle, was as important as his voice in shaping his appeal. Reid believed that Bieber's youthful look and charm would resonate with teenagers, who would likely try to imitate his iconic haircut. It's interesting how, in the entertainment industry, someone's look can be just as important as their talent. Bieber's image clearly played a huge role in his early success, and it shows how much thought goes into marketability, especially with young audiences. This introduction to Reid was a significant milestone in Bieber's career, but it also marked the beginning of his connection with other influential figures like P. Diddy, then known as Puff Daddy. Reid had a long history with Diddy, having helped him launch his label, Bad Boy Records. Usher, who had been mentored by Diddy during his teenage years, introduced Bieber to the rapper. This connection has recently come under scrutiny, particularly regarding a notorious 48-hour period in 2009 when a 15-year-old Bieber spent time at Diddy's house. During that time, a video surfaced showing Diddy teasing about having 48 hours with Diddy, though the specifics of their activities remained unclear. This part of Bieber's early career is a little concerning. While it's common for young artists to be mentored by industry veterans, unsupervised time with an adult in such a setting seems risky, especially given Bieber's age at the time. These past events have resurfaced in light of recent allegations against Diddy, who is currently facing multiple charges, including sex trafficking and racketeering, with over 120 individuals accusing him of coercion, abuse, and exploitation. This has raised questions about Diddy's relationships with young artists like Usher and Bieber. In Reid's memoir, he described how Diddy mentored both Usher and Bieber during their early years in the industry. However, given the severity of the charges, there are growing concerns about why Bieber was allowed to spend time with Diddy during his teenage years. It's disturbing to hear about these allegations, especially in the context of young artists like Bieber who were involved with Diddy. It makes you wonder what kind of environment these teenagers were exposed to and whether proper precautions were taken. Now 30, Bieber is reportedly struggling to come to terms with the allegations against his former mentor. Sources suggest that he is disgusted by the accusations and has been advised to distance himself from Diddy. His wife, Hailey Bieber, has also publicly shown her support, recently posting a throwback photo of Bieber flipping his middle fingers, which insiders interpreted as a subtle comment on the situation. While Hailey appears protective of her husband, some sources believe Bieber should speak out himself, particularly as the emotional weight of the situation begins to take a toll on him. It's understandable that Bieber would feel conflicted about speaking out. On one hand, the situation is likely very personal for him, but on the other hand, many people might expect him to make a public statement given the severity of the allegations. The recent charges against Diddy have led to a reevaluation of Bieber's early years in the music industry, especially regarding the people who influenced and guided him. Some insiders have criticized Bieber's parents, Patty Millett and Jeremy Bieber, for allowing their son to associate with people like Diddy at such a young age. They claim that Bieber was thrown to the wolves during his teenage years without proper guidance or supervision. Usher has also faced criticism for introducing Bieber to both Reid and Diddy, though there is no indication that any of them were aware of Diddy's alleged misconduct at the time. It's easy to look back and criticize the decisions that were made, but hindsight is always 20/20. At the time, Bieber's parents and Usher were likely just trying to help him succeed, but the consequences of some of those early connections are now coming to light in a very troubling way. Diddy's indictment, which includes charges of blackmail, coercion, and drug-induced sexual abuse, has also raised concerns about Bieber's mental health. Sources close to Bieber say that he feels isolated and overwhelmed by the revelations, struggling to come to terms with the accusations against someone who was once a mentor to him. In 2009, when Bieber spent that infamous 48 hours with Diddy, the rapper had already begun hosting controversial freak-off parties, where many of the alleged crimes are said to have occurred. Bieber's emotional state in the wake of these allegations makes sense. It must be incredibly hard to reconcile the fact that someone he looked up to could be involved in such serious crimes. It's a lot for anyone to process, especially considering how young he was when all this happened. As Diddy's legal troubles continue, Bieber's past connections with him have come under renewed scrutiny. These difficult questions about the environment Bieber was introduced to as a teenager have put him in a challenging position. Though he has yet to make any public comments about the allegations, insiders indicate that Bieber is deeply affected and trying to navigate the fallout while focusing on his personal life and mental health. It's clear that Bieber is going through a tough time with all of this. He has every right to take his time to process the situation and decide how or if he wants to respond publicly. His mental well-being should be the priority right now.